Hey, we're here with 51 Logistics. Wilson Logistics. Am I saying that right? Wilson Logistics.
Yep.
Wilson Logistics trainer, and I'm a Prime Inc. trainer, and we're here to answer any questions that y'all may have. How's the training going over there at Wilson for you?
So far, so good, man. And into about 3 weeks with my new student. So about another 3.5, 4 weeks with them. And I'll be done with this one, going for another one.
Are y'all running team or are you
Team
running
right now.
running team?
Yeah.
Good.
The first week, we kind of do super solo. That way I can get used to his driving since I'm not doing the D seat. But usually takes about 3 to 5 days for him to learn the truck, understand it, get his stamina up to what it needs to be to run a shift.
So now, if you wanted to take somebody that had a permit out, once you got at the 2 year mark, are you able to do that at Wilson, or is it just
Yes. Yeah. Well,
okay?
once I hit 2 years, I'll be able to do, D seats and up. So,
And y'all are still hiring from Florida, right?
yep. Still hiring for Florida.
Good, good. Florida guys need a break, man. Prime hasn't let a Florida guy come in quite a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
think we
who's
had
in here.
I think we had a class a couple weeks ago. I think it was 12 or 15 students, and they were all from Florida. Every single one of them.
Every one of them. Wow. They must have heard you say y'all are hiring from Florida. Simply Avocado is here. Hey, if y'all haven't seen, Simply Avocado has started coming out with his videos on his own channel now, so make sure y'all start subscribing to it. He's a great influence on this channel. He's has been a lot of help, and he's my go-to guy whenever I'm like, am I thinking right now, or am I overreacting? Like, he's a great guy to have some communication with, so definitely check out his channel and make sure y'all subscribe. Slowpoke TNT Thursday Night Live. Let's get it on. Coming at you from Louisville, Kentucky. Opray says, "What's up, Kenworth Rider? How's things going, Kenworth Rider? You never show me no love and shoot me a text to see how you're doing over there running local and stuff. You could hit me up and tell me what's up sometimes." What's going on, Backwoods? The Impossible. Hey, what's going on? Hans driving through Utah. Simple Plan Trucking. Good evening, gentlemen. Simple Plan Trucking not too long ago has hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need to hit him up because I was supposed to hit him up and ask him if he wanted to come on the live still next Monday. So I'll be hitting you up sometime. Make sure that you're still good with that live on Monday, and be looking forward to Simple Plan Trucking. He's going to be doing a live, his first live, I think. I want to say a couple days after that, either Tuesday or Wednesday after that. Are you subscribed to him?
Simple Plan, yes, since day one.
Definitely a great channel. He'll give you COVID. Make sure you subscribe for some COVID. Hey, look at that. Pegleg says our beard game is epic.
We're getting there, man. I'm not touching it. I'm not going to touch
long.
It's getting
Have
there.
you tried growing out the sides?
I have. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I've got too much Cherokee Indian in me, so it doesn't. It just looks like crap. Hang on one second.
Happy rainy evening from Prime One. Yeah, it's raining out there. It's storming outside. It's Greenwich. I thought you were taking off today, brother. So Greenwich is in town. He just got one of his TNT student Gene to his own truck and got him upgraded, and he picked up another one, and he's still in town right now, but pretty soon he'll be hitting the road. Simple Plan says, thank you for the shout out, brother. And he called Greenwich grandpa again. Sounds good. So yeah, next Monday, definitely I want Simple Plan Trucking on here. We'll get a talk and stuff. What? So over there at Wilson, y'all have that brand new terminal, and it is pretty sweet. Like y'all's gym is super nice.
You know, I really enjoyed you coming out and taking a look at it and everything, man. It was fun having you out there.
I appreciated it. I was like, man, I'm gonna get to check this terminal out. Like, you have a lot of great stuff over there that, like, I highly recommend. Like, sometime getting a video of that terminal up because it would be freaking awesome to get a walkthrough on it.
It's definitely in the plans. It's just my time and being there has to be coordinated because I'm not there.
It's time to make some money. It ain't time to make a video.
Exactly.
Maybe next time you're in town to switch out students, your truck will need some shop days, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm just gonna get it done here and get some videos and stuff made.
Yeah, I definitely got to have my tires looked at, and I'm coming up for an inspection in June. So, yeah, I definitely have some time to get some videos made up.
Twisted, I forgot to say happy anniversary. Thank you. Yeah, Monday night was my anniversary, so I wasn't on the live. Unfortunately, I skipped the night to just hang out. Y'all got any questions for not Greenwich? I popped his name up because I was gonna read his comment. Y'all got any questions for 51 Logistics? Who wants to know about Wilson? Y'all ask something. It's not every day we get the Wilson guy in here to give us some info. Waiting for the trailer to get here so I can leave. This is one thing that always drives me nuts about getting a trailer from like the yard. And I don't know if you experience the same thing at Wilson, but sometimes the trailers will have load locks in them, and the driver will say, hey, I had 2 load locks in there. And sometimes you open that thing up, and I don't remember if there's load locks in there or not. I have my own load locks. I don't need the load locks. I wish they would tell me that, hey, they got load locks in there, so I could just leave 2 of my load locks here. Take those 2 to replace those instead of charging me for it. And another thing that drives me nuts is whenever the weights on the trailer and stuff are not right because somebody just dropped it off. They're all like, I'm dropping it in Springfield. It's going to California, but it's legal to drive to the yard. And you get the trailer and you're like, for reals, I got to be in the 6th hole to go to California.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of frustrating sometimes. When I picked up the student this time, we had to go over and pick up the trailer. And it was a nightmare. I mean, there was guys parked up and down the aisles. I had to have a yard dog move like 5 trailers that were just parked in the aisles the wrong way, and there was guys there sleeping in the middle of the aisles. It was crazy. Luckily, we got there a couple of hours early because it took us almost 2 hours to hook to the trailer and get out of there.
Okay, I got a guy that's jumping on here. He has some real questions for Wilson. He told me, so he's gonna jump in here real quick, and we're gonna be able to hear what he wants to talk about Wilson because I have no clue what he wants to talk about, but he said he has something to say about Wilson. So here he is, the man of the hour,
River
Rich. What's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
You want to talk about Wilson about?
First, are you guys hiring?
Yeah, we're hiring, man.
I couldn't work there. I'm sorry about that. I just asked for a friend. Hey, I got a question, man.
Go for it.
I got a question. And don't take this the wrong way, but why do you guys why do y'all park at our terminal when you got your own castle across town?
Well, some guys go there to use the facilities over there,
I
So,
told Twist I was gonna be nice with you 'cause I like you, but if it's some other one, I'd be like, why the fuck you be parking your shit at our terminal? Why can't you all go enjoy your all's Emerald Castle? You know what I'm saying?
I understand that, man. Yeah, trust me. You know, some guys are waiting on loads and they just think it's easier to go over there and park and wait for the trailer to get there.
I tell you what, I'm gonna drop my trailer. I'm gonna come over and hang out at Wilson. See what they
Come
think
on,
about a prime truck sitting in there.
come on, brother. Next time I'm over, you can come check it out.
I tell
Hey,
you
you
what,
don't.
there was no parking at the gala for the gala. I might have to do that next time.
Hey, you can park closer to the building over there. At least there's not many like the truck parking's right there next to the building.
Well, that's because they don't have enough trucks to crowd the fucking building.
There was how many
Yeah,
trucks were out there that day?
that was a full lot, so there was probably 20 trucks.
You know, plus, why would I want to come park at a terminal where I can't have Greenwich come pick me up and tote me around for the day?
Bro, that building's made out of granite. You just don't understand.
Yeah.
Or what's it made out of?
It's
You were
made out
telling
of,
me.
yeah, the front face is black granite.
Black granite. It's a super nice terminal. You know, I
I'm
think
saying
most
51 Logistics. What do you wish they had that Prime? What do you wish you guys had that Prime had?
Well, here in the future, now I showed all this to Twisted while we were there, all the plans. They're going to have just about everything that the big Prime terminal has. They're not going to have a cafeteria, but they're supposed to have a restaurant that's going to be on property, but it's also going to be open to the public. They're going to have a hotel on property, but it's not.
Since you're someone there, you should tell them instead of using black granite, they could have put a cafeteria in.
Yeah, well, I'm not all that, brother. Trust me.
You know, at some of the
I'm sorry.
shippers and at some of the
Go ahead.
shippers and receivers, they have those little self checkouts with the coolers and the food in them. You know, you
Oh, you
grab
mean
a drink
canteen
and a bag
machines?
of chips, and you walk
Yeah,
up to the counter and you scan it on yourself and you pay with a card. They have kind of
Yeah.
that set up. So I mean, like there is food over there to eat. It's just not. It's not like a fresh kind of meal. Is that?
Oh, you can't get a steak at 2 a.m.
No.
No, but they do got food over there.
I'm sorry, 51. That you're the one catching the brunt, man. I'm sorry. I told Twist.
Dude, we met up down in North Carolina, man. It's all good.
South Carolina.
Was it
South Carolina, sir. I sat there all night. Yes,
I sat there all night.
I did. Because when I backed underneath my trailer, that one they told me it was getting loaded, he was sitting to my right. He was bobtail, I think. Wasn't you bobtail or you hooked to a trailer?
I was bobtail waiting for my trailer.
Hey, did
Yeah.
he have his cones around his truck? Because I learned something new about Wilson.
No, but I tell you what, man, I saw one at the truck stop, and I had my black Sharpie in mind. The next time I see him, I'm gonna write Prime all over them fucking cones.
I'll know it's you.
Sorry about dropping the F-bomb, Twister. Sorry about that, man.
So you just did laundry at the terminal. Here's a question for you, River Rich. How much was it to wash your laundry at the terminal?
It cost, I think it was 75 to wash, 50 to dry.
How about over there at Wilson Logistics?
Free.
Well, what's your
Free
point?
laundry.
That's good. Well, we can afford $1.25 at Prime.
God dang, dude.
Look, you're looking to poke at me. I gotta have some ammo. Shots fired. Pew pew pew.
Who's firing? I helped you out at the banquet. You had a great time.
Oh, hey, my dad called me today, and he saw my pictures on Facebook. He was like, God, he said, damn, son. He said, you cleaned up better than I thought.
My dude fell today, so I can't leave. Man, you were in town and you didn't even hit me up, Versatile.
We saw him the other day outside. He bummed a cigarette off Greenwich.
He said he's gonna delete. He's deleting Discord.
I'm listening.
His Discord or ours?
That's his Discord. I've never. I don't know how to do Discord, so he set it all up.
He's deleting it?
That's what he said right there. I
What?
guess I don't matter anymore. I'm literally crying and deleting the Discord.
Why did you say that?
I don't know.
Huh. He's not crying. Whatever.
All right, here you go. 51 Logistics. Are you lease? Is the pay comparable to Prime?
Yes, I am lease. We get paid a smaller percentage than Prime. We only get paid 70% of the line haul, but we get 100% of the fuel surcharge.
So
Okay.
So the
Yeah, all
extra
right.
percent goes to Wilson.
No, I get 100% of the fuel charge.
So that's how they offset the 2%. They'll give them 70% of the line haul, and they get 100% of the fuel surcharge. That probably makes up for the 2% difference, which is good. That's good. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. 100% of the fuel surcharge instead of a portion.
Wilson hauls Prime loads, so it's the same. Agree or not?
Rate wise, I disagree. You know, like I said, I guess it equals out in the end, but you know, apples to apples.
That was the impossible.
I don't like apples.
No, oranges to oranges then.
And to next, that never would have happened at Prime. Oh, talking about pre-plans. There's a lot of people that get pre-plans at Prime, believe it or not. Simply says, if you worked at Prime before, can you work for Wilson?
Yes.
How long do we have to wait if we're going to switch to Wilson?
I've been trying to get an answer on that. I'm thinking it's 2 months or 6 months. I haven't got a complete answer on that yet, so I can't really give a
Wait a minute.
confirmed time.
I thought you said there was a non-competition clause for 2 years.
That's for Wilson going to Prime.
Well, that's not fair, man.
That I understand and I agree. But that's the contract we sign when we come to school. That's in the contract saying that we can't compete with Prime for 2 years after we leave Wilson.
Really? 2 years? I thought it was less than that. I thought it was a 90-day clause for some reason.
Like I said, that's what I've heard, but I just don't know. I'm waiting to get clarification from somebody who can give me clarification.
Because RTS or RST? What's the letters?
I think it's RST.
RST? It's like 90 days for them, so I figured it would be the same.
Yeah, that's another one, man. Why are they parking their shit at our yard? You know,
they don't have a
these
terminal
people.
around here.
Well, maybe I get. Well, they need to sit there. There's plenty of barns sitting around. I mean,
what's up, Dead Rest? Greenwich says, talk about how Wilson won't take my Midwest freight. Do you guys ever use tandem slide stops? I don't. Either of y'all?
I've never used them. I've looked at them before, but no, I've never used them.
Country Sugar Brad uses one. He said he loves it. It's a game changer. Says
they work nice. I've always just done it the old way, just using the lug nuts. Pegleg says, River Rich, you were dressed to the nines for that gala.
You know what? I gotta give a shout out to Twisted and Greenwich though, because it wasn't for my entourage that day. It would have been a whole lot more painful because they're the ones that really gave me the okay. And and actually Twisted picked out my shoes, which was very comfortable, by the way. But I had to give away the socks because the socks wouldn't fit my tree trunks of calves. So,
What you could have cut them
Yeah.
down the side, but
I gave him the jean for upgrading.
oh well, that was nice. Hey,
Yeah.
we had fun. Me, you, and Greenwich, and I gotta take your pictures on your phone of yourself, and like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and some other pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I took about
Yeah.
30. I can't be trusted with somebody else's phone. Like I take a lot of pictures of everything I can, and
Look, I'm not
and
trying to take away from 51 Logistics here, man.
my bad, but yeah, I take a lot of pictures. I can't be trusted with your phone, just so you know.
Yeah, I doubt. I wouldn't. Well, I gave Greenwich my money to hold.
Yeah, I would have
That
lost that.
little black
I
pen.
laid your phone down like 3 times and lost it in the store. Greenwich wasn't supposed to tell you. Do you get paid prime rates, or does Wilson have their own rates? Is that about company driver or is that about lease? Prime. We already talked about the rates.
Well, no, we talked about the percentages.
Percentages. Okay, well, let's talk about the rates.
Okay.
You two know more about that than I do. I'm the company driver, so what's your rates, River Rich?
Well, I mean, well, it depends, right? I mean, all right, so 51. What do you guys usually get paid from, like?
For what? Like,
I think he froze.
oh, he's probably,
Yeah, there he is.
he froze.
Is that me or you guys?
That was you.
Oh, really? I got this ultimate coverage on T-Mobile's shitty, whatever. All right, so I'm taking a load out of Holland, Michigan to Macon, Georgia, for $2.20 a mile. Is that something you might? Does that sound familiar to you? Something you might get?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, everything we get comes straight from Prime. So,
Oh, it comes from our sales.
yeah, it comes from your all sales. So,
Okay, well then the rates will be the same.
rates will be the same and everything.
Okay.
Our cents per mile is different, I believe, for company drivers. Our solo drivers make 50 cents a mile, and our teams make 62 cents a mile.
I have a question.
Monk,
I have a question
Go
for
ahead.
you, 51. What's
Sure.
what's the percentages of company versus lease over there?
I'm thinking it's split fairly even, maybe a little bit more leaning towards the lease side.
Okay.
Monkey says, I just finished my 50K and waiting in the terminal for getting the call, and I get the truck. But my question is, can I get into the training pad and train myself to do backups while I'm waiting? The only way you can do that is if you're in your own truck. You can tell your fleet manager, hey, I signed the lease, or say you're a company driver, hey, I got I got my truck and everything. Don't load me yet because I need to go out to practice backing. I think it's a bad idea just because you're doubting yourself at the end of the day. So when you want to go out there to the training pad and back between some trailers and stuff like that, you're doubting yourself. You're not actually understanding how good you really are at backing. So you're kind of doubting yourself. Also, I've seen a lot of people go out there to practice backing late at night and they just hit trailers together because they're not doing get out and looks, and it drives me nuts. Like, I can't stand seeing people out there trying to practice themselves and hit and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
let's not talk about pad practice, please. I don't. Yeah.
the longevity bonus at Wilson is what?
$10,000 every 5 years.
$10,000 over 5 years. Dude, I would already got me 10 grand, bro. Does Wilson use the same broker as Prime? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think this is live. Sorry, dude. I'm just really far behind. Is the longevity bonus paid all at once or over the year?
I think you get $5,000 up front, and then the other 5 is paid out in 3, 6, and 9.
And they're taxing you on that, aren't they?
Yeah. Which I'd rather have it split up through the year, because your $5,000 is going to get taxed more than the rest of it. You know, if you get it in smaller chunks, you're going to get taxed less.
Are you able to customize your truck like Prime drivers can?
Yes.
God damn it, man.
You can get it stickered up and everything.
Can you get the whole truck covered, like no more black truck, it be hot pink?
No. It has to have you have to leave the Wilson graphics on it, so you can design it around the Wilson graphics.
So it's not 100% the same. Oh, I didn't even see this. Jay Williams with the 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Jay Williams. So you can't cover your whole entire truck. You can only put so much.
Not until you purchase your own. You know, once you finish your lease and you purchase the truck and you still want to work for Wilson, then you can do whatever you want to the truck. But because we just have like a standard lease. We don't have the ACE lease for a lease purchase. So you can't go all out on it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, Monkey, like Greenwich says, those are not free trucks on the pad. They're assigned to drivers. Yeah, there's people's personal trucks out there. Does Wilson offer the same lease and lease purchase offer on trucks?
Like I said, it's like a standard lease. We don't have the ACE lease, where you purchase yours in, 3 years. Basically, we have the standard lease. You drive the truck for 395,000 miles and you get a new truck. So as fast as you can put the miles on.
Can you lease purchase right out the gate?
You can standard lease. They don't have like a lease purchase.
Oh, they don't.
But
have
yes,
a lease
you
purchase.
can. As soon as you upgrade, you can go straight into lease. That's what I did.
Same upgrades as Prime? Like, can you get the upgrades the same as Prime? Like the table and chairs in the back?
No, unfortunately, no. There's no, since it's a standard lease, the company is buying the truck and they're buying the base model Freightliners.
Now I'm going to sneak this one in on you because I think it needs to be known, because I've been waiting on you to do a video on this and I was hoping you got one pretty soon. But on the back of your truck, do you have an APU running charging your batteries and everything, or what do you have?
We have an EPU. It's a battery set. It's, I believe, 4 to 6 batteries.
4 to 6 batteries.
Yeah, additional to what the truck comes with.
Do you like it?
I do.
I'm gonna bounce. Freestyle retail on lit Discord if it don't get deleted.
No, not a problem.
All right, later, bro. So that right there is saving fuel, correct? Hold on,
Yeah.
Let me scroll down here real quick. I got a Joseph with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Joseph. I really do appreciate it, man.
You got another one too.
Oh, another one right underneath. River Ridge still has nightmares about pad practice on CPR on cones. So that EPU, am I saying it right? EPU is
Yeah,
what you
EPU.
called it?
Yep.
So the EPU is saving you fuel.
Yes.
So Greenwich would really like that then. And once the batteries get low enough, from my understanding, because I've done some research on it.
Mhm.
From my understanding, once the batteries get low enough, then the truck will start itself up and it will run until the batteries are charged and it will turn itself off.
Correct. And it's usually about 2 hours that it'll run.
It'll run for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And from the research I've done is the truck will not start unless the batteries are low enough that they need to charge up. But also the time frame is used on average is from 9 to, I think it was 14 hours is how long those batteries will stay charged. Is that sort of kind of correct, or are you staying longer or shorter?
Well, here's the deal with that. Of course, my truck is a 2022, and when it was built, a few things got skimped on. One of them being the batteries for the EPU. Instead of putting in higher cranking amp batteries that will hold better voltage, they put in regular start batteries. So we are working with Freightliner right now to try to get those warrantied out and get the correct batteries in. I have noticed that I'm starting a little bit more at night instead of, once or twice a night. It may be 3 or 4 times a night. And that's also if I'm running the heater or if I'm running the AC real hard, or because the EPU covers everything on the heater and the AC. So.
Okay, so it really depends on having a really good battery in there.
Yeah, yeah, and it's having a set of start batteries, which is only like 775 cranking amps. It's supposed to have like a 975 per battery, and there's 6 batteries, so
some extra weight on there. Greenwich might be looking into that to save him some money, maybe. He might be too old school for it, though. Indo says, Prime offers company drivers 50 cents a mile. Is that normal compared to other companies? Does Prime offer more cent per mile for company drivers with more experience? The best answer I can give you on that is Prime is for a company driver, you will be making a little bit less than what other companies are paying. Like, you can find you some companies that will pay like 65 cents per mile or something like that. But look what happened today. Today, a company was it Florida?
I haven't heard this one.
Oh, God dang it. I Googled it too. I Googled it just to see what it was.
I know Knight Swift bought US Express.
That happened too, but
yeah.
A company in Medley Trucking. They closed their doors. 100 drivers without jobs, man, and that sucks. Like, so you work for a company that may be smaller and it pays more, but at the end of the day, how much job security do you have?
Yeah, and how many miles are you getting? At that job. So, excuse my trainer's or my co-driver's butt here.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, he's trying to get to his bed. Does Wilson have their own owner op fleet like Prime does, the advanced fleet?
That would be no
owner ops, or just
they
no.
They do have power unit, what they call power units, so you can come in with your own truck. But of course, just like Prime, there's regulations, and your truck has to be a certain year model, certain model, all that stuff.
Joseph says, finally made it through orientation in Salt Lake City about a week. Use your driver code, Twisted. Man, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you came to this channel, did your research, and decided that Prime was the company for you. Like, I stand behind Prime. I really do. in my opinion, you picked a great company to start out at. Salt Lake City, kind of, I haven't been to that terminals and seen their training program, so I really can't talk too much on it. I know that I'm not like planning on going over there anytime soon, but I'm definitely glad that you came here and that you started your career in trucking.
Yeah, the last time I was in Salt Lake, I took a look at their pad. It's small. It's a small pad,
Small.
but the facility itself is very nice. I mean, it's really nice.
I haven't been over there since they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
How big
Well,
is Wilson? Didn't you say last time it was 600 trucks or something like that?
600 trucks, and I did get all that verified and everything. So almost 500 trucks, but there's like 700 and something drivers because they have a lot more teams than they do. Well, not a lot more teams, but they have a lot of teams out there in a single truck.
I was about to say, why they got so many teams? Simply Avocado says, what would make Wilson stand out more than Prime? What's one of the biggest advantages of going to Wilson, in your opinion, over Prime?
My opinion, really the size. You're more of a person there. I mean, Wilson has 500, 600, 700 employees. I can walk into the terminal and everybody knows me. I don't know.
Well, you're the biggest YouTuber they got over there, man.
Well, yeah. Hey, I don't think I'm even in the YouTube creator market yet, man. I'm just a guy out here making videos of myself acting stupid. So
yeah, you got some good information on there too. Can you turn down a load at Wilson if you don't like it? And if you do, is there backlash from your fleet manager?
No. Yes, no. How's that? Yes, you can turn down a load. No, you won't get any pushback. Sometimes, not from my fleet manager, because she knows what I run. And, but sometimes, all these things come from sales at Prime. So you can be put on a naughty list, I guess,
Does Wilson train with Prime drivers if Wilson trainers are tied up? No.
Two completely different entities.
Those EPUs suck. I'm sorry. Greenwich says, don't think I would sleep well with the truck starting up whenever it feels like it throughout the night.
It's no different than having one of the reefers start up while you're sleeping. It's really not. It doesn't make any more noise.
Yeah, the same thing Avocado said. You drive a reefer, so it's the same-ish thing, Grandpa.
I don't even wake up to it anymore. I really don't.
He's calling Greenwich Grandpa, by the way. He always calls him Grandpa. As a lease operator, how much do you make solo as at Wilson? That his pay. If he's gonna put out a video on his pay, he'll probably do it on his own channel. I'm sure. Like sometimes it's a personal thing. Like I don't tell y'all how much I make. Like I'm not putting out my money. Unless you feel different about it, you can say whatever you want.
I've never done a here's my statement video or anything like that. On average, solo, I can make from. Right now it's really bad. Right now it's 12. Solo, I've made as much as 4,000. And that's net, bring home. So it just depends on the loads. It really does.
What are you playing on your TV? It looks like alive.
It is. It is alive.
It's alive. Greenwich Trucking says, what about when I'm empty? Oh, they're talking to each other. Average mile per week, not training.
25, 3,000. 25, 3,000.
Same as Prime.
Yeah.
Robert says, I applied at Wilson for school, but got turned down because I had my CDL 20 years ago. Go to Springfield, Missouri, April the 10th for Prime.
Congratulations, Robert, man. I understand Wilson is really strict on who they bring in, and they have a criteria and they keep that criteria,
I don't even think I got a student coming in April yet. Yeah, my schedule's empty in April. No, I got 3 guys in April. April the 10th. I might be available in April. Simply says, so follow-up question. If owner op comes with their own truck, do they have to bear the Wilson logos on their trucks?
I do not know.
I bet you would. And the only reason I say that is because RTS, or did I say it right? RTS?
I think you did.
RTS, you have to put their logos on your truck. So I'm pretty sure at Wilson.
It may be like your Ace lease over there, instead of having a big Prime on your door, it may be a smaller Prime or a smaller Wilson on owner ops. I don't know. I don't know many of the owner ops. I know we have some, but I've never ran into them. So.
They're talking about the engine hours on the truck due to the truck starting up and stuff like that. Joseph says, does it matter where I train? If so, let me know so I can let my recruiter know. No, it doesn't matter where you train. I'm just not a fan. I'm pretty sure almost there's a lot of people that just don't agree with the way that Salt Lake City trains, I guess you would say. I don't know exactly how they do it because, like I said, I haven't been over there. But from what I've been told, I was like, there's something else over there.
And it's also, really where they're located at, where they live at. They may not really want to bring anybody out this way from Washington or Oregon, So
we don't hire from Washington.
Yeah.
We don't hire from Washington.
So
y'all probably don't hire from Washington either.
I really don't know.
Wilson only hires guys named Adam.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Everybody here is named Adam.
Is your student named Adam too?
And his name is George.
Oh. So is it Adams and Georges?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Do Wilson trucks have the right wage gauge system in the cab? Good question. I didn't even look for it when I was in your truck.
The 22, mine does. I've seen a 23 without one. But I think that was just a supply chain issue. So I think he's supposed to be getting his done. So.
And y'all have the extra radar on the passenger side of the truck too, right?
Correct.
So we don't have that. We used to have it a long time ago, but we don't have that anymore. I think that's about the only thing that's really different is the EPU and the thing on the side. I don't even know the name of it because y'all still have the alert that you're following too close. Critical events. What's the critical events y'all have?
Pretty much the same thing that Prime does, following too close, taking turns too fast,
rollover,
alerts, stuff like that. So, yeah.
How many training miles does a student have to drive before upgrading?
Okay. So this has just changed recently, and actually the trainee I have now is the first class that this is happening to. So the actual training miles that I do with him are 25,000. And then after he upgrades from this 25,000, him and another student have to team together for 3 months. no physical mileage in that. They just have to team together for 3 months, and then they can go on their own.
Now, will one of them get to keep the truck that they're teaming in, or will they both come back and have to each get a new truck?
From what I understand, it is a company team. So it just depends on if one of them want to stay in that truck, or if they both want to stay in the truck and just continue teaming together. But I would, like I said, this is all fluid right now because this is the first class and they're working through it. So I would figure that one of them would have the option to stay in that truck and one of them would have the option to get a new truck, or they would have an option to get 2 lease trucks, and go from there.
Quit bashing Salt Lake City. Great drivers come out of there. I'll take your word on it. I'll take your word on it. You sure can drive a simulator. I will say that. What is the easiest trucking job you ever have done?
For me, this one. This is the only one I've ever had. So, before this, I worked for a food company for 20 years, 17 years in management in the service field. So, had to get out of that. And I've always wanted to do this since I was in my 20s and made the decision to do it.
Question for Twisted. Did watching Transformers inspire you to become a trucker? No, it didn't. My inspiration was, hey, I need to do something before my family starves or I lose my house that I worked so hard for. That was my inspiration. Yeah. Prime, but I'm a little prejudiced.
Hey, I'll admit to you guys, Prime's a great company. I was planning on coming to Prime. If they would not had the freeze last year, I probably would have been training with Twisted, because I was talking to him before I made the move. So I was talking to him 3 months before I even said, hey, I quit. So
yeah. And Prime wasn't hiring like they are right now. They're not hiring from Florida, and he had to do something. So all I could be like is, hey, do some research, find something else. The best advice I could give him. And, he was all like, because I remember you told me, you're all like, dude, I can't wait. Like, I just put in my notice, or I think you quit your job already. I can't remember which happened, but you just got to go find the next place.
Yeah. Because I did send you a text soon as I got the message saying, hey, man, is there anything you can do?
Yeah, no, nothing. Does Wilson hire CDL drivers with prior experience? If so, do they have to do many miles training? Good question.
They do hire CDL drivers. I am still waiting on a clarification on what their miles are, if any. I'm sure there is, just for a refresher course, but I have not they have not gotten back to me with what that is. So I can't really answer the miles part, but I know they do hire CDL drivers.
How do truckers handle driving overnight? Example, Philadelphia to St. Louis. Yeah, lots of mirror checking, talking on the phone, listening to the radio, energy drinks, coffee,
podcasts, lots of podcasts.
Maybe pull over, take a nap for a while, just different stuff like that. What is it? What's the worst hours they always say? 3 a.m. or something like that? 3 or 4 a.m. is the worst hours to be driving.
Yeah, 3 to 5 is usually when I'm starting to get that twinge and I got to do something. So, I either pound a 5-hour energy or I listen to Metallica, as loud as the truck will take it. My student doesn't like it.
paying for my own plane ticket. Not taking the bus. I don't blame you there. I don't
Not
suggest
one bit, dude.
nobody take a Greyhound.
No, that's a torture ride right there, dude.
Yeah, torture ride. Like, don't take the Greyhound. Definitely don't take the Greyhound. Gene says, I really hate now these companies force these team trucks, whether it be a trainee or a trainer or forcing two students to drive together. Yeah, Gene, you just had so TNT, so what you're doing right now is TNT training, and like is what Prime calls TNT training, and we're doing it for 50K miles. So, TNT is rough. I will tell you that. If you have a legitimate complaint about your trainer, maybe the truck has pee bottles all over it. Maybe the truck is filthy. Maybe your trainer is vulgar to you or disrespectful or, whatever the case may be. If it is completely like you just cannot do it, speak up and speak up to them first. Hey, I can't be in a truck with this stuff. Hey, I can't be in a truck. Like, when are we going to stop and clean this truck up? Stuff like that. Now, if that's not working and the truck, like the situation's not getting better, you need to step it up and call the fleet manager. You have to be able to speak up for yourself. You have to be able to, sometimes people wake up with bad moods. We all do it. Even we do it as students. Like, not too long ago, I had a student, and we had a issue with differences. Both of us had, like, I've had a feeling that he was kind of speaking rough to me, and he had a feeling that I was speaking real rough to him, and it went along for 3 days. And I said, you know what, we need to, I was like, come in the building, we need to talk. So I brought him in the building and sat down with my supervisor, and we sat down together, and we talked. I didn't do much talking, but he got everything off of his chest. And like, just having that little set down and that talk made our whole attitudes completely different, and we were able to get back out there and get back to work, and we had a great time after that. And he trifected the other day. So sometimes just having that other person there to speak up to, and I wish he would have, like, hey, I'm going to talk to the fleet manager or something like that. I'd have been like, hey, here's his phone number. Like, just sitting down, talking. We communicated about it. We had no more issues, and we had a great time the rest of the training. And, sometimes just talking about stuff will help, will do a lot. Now, I wish he would have told me what he felt was the problem, and we didn't have to go inside, but I had no indications that there was a problem. Like, I'm blind sometimes to problems. I'm just like, that dude's in a bad mood. We'll try again tomorrow. Oh, he's still in a bad mood. We'll try again tomorrow. Does Prime hire out of Louisiana? Yes. And does Wilson hire out of Louisiana?
Yes. As of right now, I don't know of a state they do not hire out of. I know we hire out of I believe we hire out of Washington, because I had some students that were in my class that were from Washington.
Wilson hires guys with the name Simply Avocado.
With my recommendation, maybe.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Helping people out. Make sure y'all also check out 51 Logistics channel, and if you are serious about coming to Wilson, make sure you check out his channel. He has his email on there and a phone number, and you can get a hold of him with any questions y'all may have. He knows a lot of people there, and like he said, everybody knows him there, and it's because it's a smaller company, and it's whenever you have I don't even know how many trucks we're at. When you have 1,000 people come in your door, you might not remember everyone. When you only have 600 come in your door, you kind of remember a lot more of each other. So he knows a lot of the people there. He's walked around the terminal. He's gave me a tour of the terminal, showed me what different people sit and stuff like that. So, he's definitely knowledgeable. What's your favorite Metallica album?
One. Hey, there was one question from an Impossible Company, or not so much a question, I guess it's a statement. It says, so Wilson's making money for them for teaming. Yes, in a way, but again, with the cost of the trucks these days being up almost 50 grand, they want to make sure that these guys are making sure they want to do this as a career. I mean, just like anything, there's turnover. There's guys that'll get out here and get a weekend of training, and they're like, "Hey, this is not for me, man. I can't do it." And I know Prime. I know you guys got turnover out there too. So you get guys that go through TNT and they're out for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're like, "Not for me. I can't do it." Is this, it happens. So it's not that they're trying to make money off these guys. It's just that they're trying to be smart with the money that they have,
Twisted, your personality and demeanor is so relaxed.
Woosah.
Whenever I'm chilling at home or we're chilling having a live, yes, I'm relaxed, I'm chill. Whenever it comes to safety and whenever it comes to buckle down and do your stuff that you need to do, like I am super strict, and a lot of people have a issue. This is where a lot of people have issues, is they see me on here and they think that I'm kind of like a pushover. So whenever they meet me in person and I'm all like, hey, just like, so one of my first things I tell you about driving is I'm all like, hey, look, I am super strict. The only way you're going to know you're messing up is if I tell you. So if you expect me to tell you you're doing great when you're driving and you're doing horrible, don't expect it. You will hardly ever hear me say that you're doing something right when you're driving. I'm going to tell you everything that you did wrong in every situation. And, I'm big on safety, and I'm big on like, hey, we're grown people. Like, let's get our stuff done. If you're slacking on pre-trip, I'll go 6 days of letting you study pre-trip your way, because I do agree. Some people know the best way they need to study. But after about 6-7 days, I'm going to check your pre-trip. If you don't know it, I'm going to babysit you. And what I mean by that is we're doing it my way. You're going to jump out the truck. Maybe the engine compartment is where you're at. That day I will have you out there my way with the paper and studying the parts and going over the paper until you learn it. Then we will do the driver's side fuel area. Then we will do the trailer. Then we will do the coupling, the lights, and the in cab. And we will not do nothing else that day. Like, I will sit there an entire day and let you do pre-trip all day. And as you finish the engine compartment, I will test you on it and then say, all right, you're ready for driver's side fuel area. So like, I am super strict, and a lot of people, they just do not like that. They don't. They're all like, man, you're treating me like a kid. No, I gave you opportunity to study it and you did not study it. So now, I don't like it either, because I feel like I'm babysitting you. So if I feel like I'm babysitting you, you definitely feel like I'm treating you like a kid, but I'm not treating you like a kid. I'm just trying to get you to do your job, and I'm going to sit there and make sure you do your job, do your part.
No, exactly, man. I completely agree with you on that. Safety is the number one thing out here. It's just like, my student getting into the truck, I have ground rules just like everybody does. I tell them, listen, you're going to be driving during the day. You're going to be driving at night. You're going to be doing all the pre-trips. I'm going to be out there with you every time, making sure you do it right. That way, if you ever get out there and you have an officer that pulls you over for an inspection and they start asking stuff, you know what's going on.
100%.
Yeah.
I do think 6 months of training is long enough to be a good trainer, like Wilson wants. Oh,
I don't think.
Oh, I don't think 6 months of training is long enough to be a good trainer, like Wilson wants you to become after you finish. It's not that they're wanting you to become a trainer that early. I think it's more of, hey, you just finished TNT, so you kind of like you should that's your on the job training. You should know it. So we're gonna put a teammate in there with you to help you along. Like if y'all both need help, y'all can help each other out. I think it's more of that. Just having that person in the truck that can still help them out and be their crutch. Hey, I need somebody to watch for me while I back into the spot. Hey, teammate, wake up. I really need your help, bro. And like, you can call on each other for help. I could be wrong. What's your feelings on it?
I think this one's more directed towards me, actually, because I think I've had him on a couple of my videos say something. Maybe it was him, maybe it was someone else. Yes, 6 months on the job, I became a trainer. Okay. Do I think that's long enough to be a expert trainer? No. But I have 17 years of training experience behind me in another job. I do believe I can teach all my students what they need to know to be safe, to be courteous, and to do a good job on the road. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The day I stop learning is the day I'll just hang keys up, because you have to learn here every day. Every day.
And I believe another thing with that is I believe that the guy with 6 months that just went through training himself, he still knows, like it's fresh in his mind. The guy that's been here 20 years, he might be like, all right, you're my student. I don't remember nothing. So like you're gonna do what I say, period. And like it's just like they don't remember the back to basics, and this is what I call it, back to basics. Like this is what this is trucking 101. We're back to basics.
No, exactly. Because and you have trainers at Prime, and we have trainers at Wilson that are really only doing this because they want money. And they don't care about the student. They just want somebody to make those extra miles. They're not teaching them anything. That's why some of these students go through 3 or 4 trainers, at both our companies, and some of I've talked to trainees that have just, dude, I just can't be this guy. I can't be with this guy. He's yelling at me. He's accusing me of running into trucks. My last student, he had to finish off with another trainer, and he decided, hey, I'm going to become a trainer now, so someone else doesn't have to go through what I had to go through for the last 2 weeks. So, he just, I don't like that. I think it's terrible that there's guys out there that do that just slave these guys out, slave the students out, just so they can make an extra $3 or $4 grand.
Yeah, and you're gonna get me on another rant. Another rant.
That'll be another Thursday, brother.
I'm not gonna do it. Oakdale Reefer Holler says, "What's up?
What's up, Oakdale?
What are the likes at? The likes are at 8 likes and 1 thumbs down from River Rich." Twisted Demeanor is not so relaxed when he has a difficult student, and it's not even that. It's not really the dude's difficult. It's the guy will not follow directions, and he's pretty much overthinking. Like with an overthinker, this is how you have to treat an overthinker. And I know, like, it sucks. Like I really hate doing it. With somebody that overthinks, you have to. This is what you do. Period. Don't let any room for them to ask any questions, or like, I mean, they can ask questions, but like anything that they want to talk extra about it, all of this stuff. Because what they're going to do is they're going to be like, okay, well, what about this piece of metal on the side of the trailer. Don't look at that piece of metal on the side of the trailer. Look at the back of the trailer and just back up. Like they will start overthinking it. And if you go one little bit outside of your own plan, then it's going to be even more of a headache because they're super smart. So they're thinking on a higher level. Like I tell my guys all the time, I'm all like, look, I just want you to be the dumb truck driver like me. Look, I barely made it through high school, man. Like I did good in school, but I didn't go to college or nothing like that. I'm all like, look, I'm down here and you're way up here. And we need you to be down here on my level. Like, you're too smart. I tell them all the time, they got a room full of a bookshelf in their mind full of encyclopedias. And like, I'm all like, hey, here's your like maneuver for the day. Go ahead and file that in your brain. And they're all like, they got so many books. They're all like, I grabbed this book out. This is volume 26. I'm going to flip to page 34 and I'm going to put it right there. It's safe. Now they put that on a bookshelf with a whole bunch of books and you're like, hey, where's it at? Well, you don't remember what we did yesterday? They're all like, no, but 6 years from now, whenever they're studying astrophysics, they're going to open up that book and find it and be like, oh, that's what I needed to do in the backing. I was looking for that.
Yeah. I mean, you do A to get to B. B to get to C, C to get to D. Don't do anything else but A, B, C, D. That's it.
Simply Avocado says, yes, I agree. 51 has a lot of knowledge and very inviting personality. He's very positive and had a great talk with you last week.
I really enjoyed it too.
Gene Scott, how's your hand doing? Poor guy. Did you see the live last week? With Greenwich on it?
No, I did not.
When you go to the live from last week, check it out. Go to the live and then check out the comments on it. And I put a timestamp in there. Click that timestamp and you'll see what everyone's talking about right there because it's freaking hilarious. He can open and close his hand now. It's not a career, it's a lifestyle.
That is true.
Does Wilson have their own division such as flatbed and tanker?
Reefer only.
Reefer only? I didn't even know that. I thought maybe y'all had some tanker and stuff.
No tankers, no flatbeds. I mean, we run dry loads sometimes, but they're usually always in reefers. So, we'll run Shaw loads. Goodyear loads.
What's Wilson day cabs hauling around Springfield?
Cheddar cheese, Kraft cheese.
Simple Plan Trucking says Twisted's all business on the pad. Yeah, you've been there. I'm all business on the pad. Does Wilson have driver-facing cameras?
We're going to start this conversation again. No, they do not have driver-facing cameras.
Sooner Trucker says, I'm coming for orientation 4-3 to 23 as a lease operator. Which division at the moment would you say is the best? Thanks. All the divisions are great. I don't see nothing wrong with any of them. And they all pay the same before anyone tells you any different. They all pay the same. Right now, oh man, I heard this from a good source, but I've done this before. I heard it from a good source, but I think we're only hiring from reefer right now. I'm pretty sure. I know we're not hiring for flatbed right now. Apparently Twisted has a thing for tortillas. Oh. You son of a bitch. Yeah, that's a long story.
Yeah, just wait till the next one.
At Wilson, I saw that one too. I skipped that one. At Wilson, is cent per mile paid door to door or zip code to zip code or dispatch miles?
Zip code to zip code.
And dispatch miles too.
Yeah,
But the
and
dispatch,
dispatch, but it's
it's
pretty much where that zip code begins and where your depart or where your O1 begins, and you know how it is. The shortest distance between the two zip codes. So yeah, there is a differential in.
so you got A and B over here, and so what they measure it by is they measure it by the center of that zip code to the center of that zip code. So if you pick up on the far side over here and you're delivering to the far side over here, sometimes you have to get with your fleet manager and say, hey, I need some added pay because from the edge of that zip code to the edge of that zip code is over 100 miles and you might have to add some pay. But sometimes it works out on your favor. This is why I don't ask my fleet manager for anything less than 100 miles. And that's because sometimes I get the loads where it's the closest edge of the zip code to the closest edge. So I make some of it back. You lose sometimes, you win sometimes. And if it's over 100 miles, I will ask for added pay for that because I feel like I deserve it. I don't work for free. And 100 miles, I average that about 2 hours of free work. I don't work for free, so I say something.
Yep, absolutely.
You do the same?
Yep.
How do truckers handle driving through New Mexico and Arizona? Those aren't even
Safely.
bad areas.
Safely.
Those are not bad areas. You should ask us how we handle driving through Arkansas. Okay, that's not towards 51 Logistics. Full transparency. I was working for Wilson. I came in the class and had 18, and a lot of my classmates have been going through a hard time with their trainer.
Yeah, that was about.
Okay.
That was about.
And I apologize if I thought you were someone else. I have had a couple of people troll me like that, but it's that way, Again, the reason I became a trainer, so I could train better than those guys could, Yeah.
Simple Plan Trucking says, I was Twisted's worst overthinker. You were not my worst overthinker. I will tell you that. You were really overthinking, but I've had people that, whew, yeah, I had some people that were way worse overthinkers. I taught Simple Plan Trucking 2 different ways. At first, I taught him how to just back it in there. Well, whenever he got COVID, I got COVID. I got COVID, then I gave him COVID. One of us gave each other COVID. We were sharing cups. Sometimes we're really cool like that. Me and Captain Dave, I'm all like, try that. That doesn't taste right. Or he'll be like, try that. No, I'm a germaphobe. I wouldn't be doing that, but it sounded good at the time. But anyways, somehow one of us got COVID and we gave it to the other one. And I always blame him and he always blames me. But, anyways, when he left and he came back, we both decided, hey, he kind of didn't remember all the stuff that we learned together, and he was going on a while on PSD, one of my longest PSD students ever. So we both decided, hey, let's get through the points really quick and get you on to making your money on TNT. And it was a lot easier to teach him. There's a spot, put it in there, because he was all like mathematical with it. He was all like, if I turn this wheel turn about a quarter of a turn, that will put my tire at a 35-degree angle, which will move the truck 35 degrees this way, which will move the front of the trailer 14 degrees that way. I mean, I was like, whoa. I was all like, what you do? Got a drone flying in the air above this thing or what? I will say that 6 months may not be long enough. I think 6 months is long enough. I do 100%. Does Wilson have the same 100K year guaranteed as Prime does when you go lease?
I didn't drive for 7 hours. But like
I've never heard of that. That's something I'd have to ask for.
and then I was like too tired after that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Yeah. And hey, Impossible Company, give me a call, man. My number's on all my videos. You know, we can talk.
Pegleg says, Twisted, if Gene is okay with it, can we call him Sparky? I guess if he's okay with it. Just so y'all know, Gene is good from last week's live. He's okay and well. Nobody was hurt. I mean, no, I take that. Gene was very hurt, but nothing that's not too bad. So he's doing good. He has a new truck, and it's a nice truck. Like, he got a black truck. You know, most people dream of getting black trucks. They're all like, man, I hope I get a black truck. He got him a black truck. Unless you're at Wilson, you're all like, man, I wish they had something besides black. I'm tired of seeing black. But you know, he got a cool black truck with some blue decals on it. It was a pretty nice truck. He got a Freightliner.
Yeah, I always wanted the most obnoxious color you could get at Prime was that lime green. That's the one I wanted.
Does Wilson? What kind of trucks does Wilson have?
Freightliners.
Freightliners. Oh, the Hills Have Eyes, people. Oh, it's in the contract. River Rich, Jeff does all the flat drivers have a Patreon asking for a friend. Oh, did you?
I think
Man.
River asked me earlier if I was panhandling on Patreon. No, I'm not.
He asked you if you are?
I think so earlier.
No, I think he was talking about somebody else. That's not nice. Wow. Simply says, if you don't mind me asking. If I recall correctly, they have to pay that back. If you don't make 100K your first year, Prime fronts you the money to make up the difference. If I recall correctly, you do have to pay that back, though. I don't know. I've never heard of any of that before. Too bad River Rich wasn't in here. He'd probably be able to tell you about that. He's still in the chat, though. I'm okay. Gene's okay, and he doesn't care if y'all call him Sparky, so. Thanks for everything, River Rich. That you owe me for using my last towel. So at the banquet, River Rich went over to Gene's room. Gene said, "Hey, come use my iron. You can use the ironing board and iron your clothes for the gala, however you say the gala." So I guess he used his last towel. He said. Oh, you did ask 51 Logistics that. Oh, my bad. 51, do you use your cones?
Yes, I do.
Every time, right?
Every time I'm at a truck stop or in a rest area. If I'm parked at a receiver, I probably won't put them out. But I'll be parked inside.
Okay. Kenny Robertson says, if you start out in reefer division, can you switch to another division later on? Yes, you can. It's not hard to do. You can definitely switch in between divisions. And a lot of people do that. Like, I have people come in reefer and they decide to go flatbed. Tennessee Flatbedder had people come in reefer and they decided to go flatbed after working with him. So that it does happen. People like switching divisions, or they talk. You can, once you get here, you'll start talking to other drivers and from different areas. And if you can find somebody from your home state, like, you start asking questions. What do you drive? Reefer, flatbed, tanker, and you start asking those questions. Am I in a good area for freight and stuff like that? And a lot of people find out that they're in an area that's going to be better to do tanker or flatbed. Reefer is pretty much everywhere. I think reefer, I don't think there's a bad spot you could live in the United States. I don't think there's a bad spot you can live in the United States for reefer. You think of 151?
No, not really.
You know what? What's that Walmart down there in New Mexico? It's down there in New Mexico. There's a Walmart that every time I deliver to it, I never can get a load anywhere near there to get out of there. Is it Lost?
I've never been to one in New Mexico, so can't answer that.
Dang, I can't think of it. But there's one over there that every time I have to deadhead out of there. Joseph says, I'm planning on going lease. What is a truck? Should I be looking into? What is a brand of truck? I like my Freightliners. You have people that like their internationals. It's just a personal decision on that.
Freightliners are the easiest to get worked on when they need to be worked on.
Los Lunas, New Mexico. That's where it is. Like, I have a hard time getting freight out of there. Yeah, look, now everyone's saying it. They must have been stuck there. River Ridge says Florida, New Mexico, and a couple others. Sean Hobbs says, what's going on? I'm heading out the 17th to Wilson. Thanks,
Sean.
to Mr. 51.
Yeah, I talked to Sean after the last live. He was on the last time too. So yeah, I'm glad you're coming out, man. Like I said, hopefully we can work it out where we can get together and train.
Good. See, he did his research. Found out that Wilson's going to be for him. River Ridge says, stay out of the Midwest for God's sakes. You'll never hear the end of it. Jeez. Yeah, stay out of. Hey, only me and Greenwich can run the Midwest. You stay out of Greenwich's freight, and my tire runs, River Ridge.
I'm in the Midwest right now. Come on.
Oh yeah, you are. Don't be touching Greenwich's freight up there. You better deadhead over to California to pick up something.
No. I'm gonna get some General Mills and go California.
I literally have zero responsibility and ready to take America on.
There you go. Save the money, brother. Live in the truck.
Yeah, save as much as you can, man. If you can pay cash for whatever you buy, that's going to be the best thing. You'll build up a bank account quick out here. Like, I usually don't talk about money like that, but you'll be able to build up a bank account pretty quick. I'm seeing a lot of big number bank accounts here lately, like big numbers. Like, people have a lot in savings. Greenwich, can you visit the Midwest, but don't overstay your welcome? Oh, he's nice to 51 Logistics.
Yeah, trust me. I don't like Minnesota. I'll get out of here pretty quick.
I'm gonna follow you again, Grandpa. River Ridge says he's broke. You can't be broke having a double smoker on your YouTube profile picture like that. You can't be
That's
broke.
the reason
having
he's
that.
broke.
Yeah, spent all his money on smokers.
I barbecue too. Trust me. I know how much it costs.
Andre says, I want to thank you for everything you have taught me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Andre's my current student right now.
Awesome.
So he drove all the way to St. Louis today. So he made it all the way there. All the way to Dupo. Pick up some tires and bring them back. These prime flower loads are something else out of Florida.
Yes, they are.
Well, we don't have to touch the freight no more. You should have seen it.
Yeah, a couple years.
I don't know how long
Was it
you've been
last year?
driving.
Last year you had to unload them all.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. I did a flower load. Oh man, I was so tired. The only thing fun was like it was like a scavenger hunt. Go find this lock, put this combination in. You would open up that one. You get another key. You take it over there. It unlock this lock, and then you might have another combination, and and then you had to
Sounds like
put
an
all that
escape
stuff
room.
back. It was nuts.
Sounds like an escape room.
Yeah, it was kind of like it. It was kind of fun. I did my first flat today, passenger side drive tire. Yikes. Did it blow out or just go flat? What's the worst state to travel in or interstate? Go for it. It's all your question right there.
Personally, for me, West Virginia.
Arkansas 27. Never doing that again. What would be the reason why Prime don't hire from certain states?
State regulations.
Washington is kind of the state's stipulations on CDL holders. You have to jump through a lot of hoops and do a lot of extra stuff that would cause a lot of extra steps for Prime to do. So they're like, you know what, we're just not hiring from there. And Florida is more of we have too many drivers that live in Florida. So like the freight, when you go to Florida, there's less freight to get you out. They'll drop the wages if they know there's a lot of people needing freight in the area to get out of the state. I think I'm a resident of Southern California at this point. Jeff says, I took 3 hours. Loves was 11 miles away. West Virginia. Yeah, we know why. Sam, your truck broke down.
I just don't like the mountains. That's the only reason. The mountains just kill your fuel economy out there.
West Virginia. What's wrong with the wild and wonderful state? That's racist on West Virginia. Just flat, but it required a new tire by the time I was able to get slowed down enough to pull to the shoulder.
Well, that's good.
I'm glad you caught it at least. Like, I'm really glad you caught it and didn't do more damage like the rim or blowout. And, you know, blowouts can damage a lot of stuff, believe it or not. I've seen a lot of stuff get torn up from blowouts.
Yeah, I think you can take your hood out, take your fender out, steering components, braking components. You got to be very, very careful.
Have you ever had a blowout?
I have not. But I have had blowouts on my personal vehicles and everything, and it's just a bigger tire, you know. So I know I know what the damage can be like.
Yeah. River Rich wants to know what Jeff's Patreon is. He'll donate for the flat tire. Hey, where were you whenever Sam needed some Patreon money, River Rich? Whenever Sam's truck blew up, his Peterbilt that he had to have. It was a nice looking Peterbilt. It just blew up. So what do you think the future holds for Wilson?
Growth, I really do. I mean, I showed you the plans on what they're planning on doing. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to have a partnership with Prime for the very foreseeable future, and probably longer than that, because Daryl Wilson and Rob Lowe are really good friends. So, and have been for years. So I don't see that partnership dying. So I think we're just going to be, good partners.
Yeah. Well, with all that stuff they're building, like that's going to, how many years do you think that all that's going to take to be built? Do they have an estimated date?
From what I've heard, they would like to have everything done within the next 6 years.
See, the impossible just read my mind. I was about to ask you this, but he put it on there too fast. I was gonna say, what do you think that there's any thoughts about Swift buying out Wilson?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Did you think they were gonna buy U.S. Express?
No. But I tell you one thing, I wish I would have known, because I would have definitely bought some U.S. Express stock, because it went from $1.50 to like $15.
Really?
Yep.
Dang.
What I'm expecting is actually to see Rob Lowe start buying some companies.
Dang, you putting the pressure on us. He just bought what was it, Lee Garrett or whatever it was?
Yeah, Lee Garrett, I think. Lee something.
Yeah. Well, what is left? What mega carriers are left? Knight Swift and U.S. Express is one. Then you got Prime. You got FedEx, Walmart, KLM, CRST.
Yeah.
CR England.
CR England. Hirschenbach.
I forget about them all the time.
Yeah. You got Bowman. What's the other one? Bowerman. I mean, mega carrier wise, there's not too many left, but it's picking up the smaller ones, because I mean, like you said earlier, you had that one company go under and lose 100 people. And, I've watched Asian My Show, and, there's probably been 5 or 6 companies in the last 2 weeks, 500 or under, have gone under. So
yeah, Warner too.
Yeah. Warner's probably the bigger one.
JB Hunt.
Milton, let's see, Warner, Snyder, CRST, Felon Express. Yeah.
Western Express.
Those guys just scare me right there. That's one company that scares me.
Why's that?
I've just seen some drivers that are just not paying attention, dude. And you can tell they're just out of training. And I've even asked, because I've helped some guys back up before in parking lots. And I'm like, how long you been out? I've been on my own for like a week. I said, well, how long was your training? 3 weeks. So
yeah,
if that's true or not, I don't know. I've never worked at Western Express, but those guys scare me sometimes.
I got hit one time. My student parked our truck. Like I told my student, I said, "Hey, look, this truck stop is pretty much empty." I said, "Park wherever you want." I said, "I don't even care. We'll back it in wherever you want, whatever." So he's all like, he just went right into the middle of all these parking spots, and I was all like, I said, "Man, you took the easiest way out, but you know what? I did tell you to park wherever you wanted." I said, "So it's kind of my fault." But so he parked where no one around him. So one of those trucks went down there and did a U-turn, and they took off the front hood. And the guy got out. He was scared. He was all like, "Oh my God." I said, "Don't worry about it, man. Chill out." I said, "I'm just glad you didn't drive off." And I was all like, "You should have been watching your mirror." And he was all like, it's my first day." I said, "Well, where's your trainer at?" He was all like, he was asleep in the back, but he's up now. And I was all like, "Oh." And I was all like, "He went to sleep your first day out of after you got your CDL?" He's all like, "Yeah, he went straight to sleep." I was like, "Oh." But yeah, they took the hood of my truck off.
Wow.
Just doing a U-turn in the parking lot. Do all the rates dropping hurt the company drivers, or is it just the lease owners? Lease and owner ops.
I don't think it hurts the company guys because they're going to get that cents per mile, and they're still going to get the miles.
It does hurt us. It does hurt the company drivers, as in like the freight slows down, so there's less loads. In that aspect.
Yeah, in that aspect.
I mean, I think that's the only way it affects them. From what I understand, though, like it's not even that bad out, like as everyone's making it out to be. Is from my understanding, is what I've been told. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's not paying like it used to, like of course, but you can still make a living out there. Like I've talked to guys that are still doing good. It's not what they were making a couple years ago when freight was great, like, but it's not like, "Hey, I'm losing my truck. I can't pay my truck payment. I'm not making any money. Like I'm losing everything I got." I haven't heard of anyone that was that far off.
Yeah,
Have you?
I haven't missed a lease payment, and I've taken money home. So it's not as great as it was last year, but it's not to the point where I'm stressing over it either. I'm still paying my bills.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of an issue. I mean, it is an issue. Like, man, people were banking. Like, I understand. Like, that is an issue. Like, you were banking, you were doing freaking awesome. But I don't think it's as big of an issue of as I'm about to lose my truck, I'm about to lose my house, I'm about to lose everything I have, unless you overspent. Like, you were living with, like, beyond your means. So I think for the most part, people are still able to feed themselves and their families and stuff like that. I don't think that we're at that point where we're like, "Hey, it's time to get out of trucking and do something else because we can't make a living." My opinion. What you think?
Oh, I agree. It's like I said, I haven't gone behind on my payments on the truck. I've always been in the black, and I've been taking money home and paying my bills. So, like you said, it's not as good as it was 6 months ago, but it's not as bad as I've heard it being in the past. So, and from what I understand, it's always the first quarter that's like this. So rates will pick back up, contracts will get re-signed, and we'll get out there and start moving more freight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it'll pick up pretty soon. I mean, it can't be low forever. It just can't. Like, it has to pick up at some point.
Yep.
Everything out there is up and down like that. Like, You have your high times, and then you have lows, and then you have highs. Even like just life in general. Like you'll be doing great in life, and then all of a sudden somebody throws you a curveball, and you're real down, and then guess what? You're gonna pick yourself back up, and that's kind of like the market and everything. Well, guys, we are about to take off because I know you need some sleep and I need some sleep. I got a test tomorrow morning, and thank y'all for jumping in here and saying hi and everything. It was a fun live. I appreciate you, 51 Logistics. Make sure y'all subscribe to 51 Logistics. And Tennessee Flatbedder also has a video that he put out about him camping. Make sure y'all are also checking that out. I don't know which night he's going to be able to come back and do some lives because he has some stuff going on, but hopefully soon we will have him back on here doing lives again. And, you know, Wilson Logistics, we're trying to make sure we try and make that like a monthly thing. Maybe every month he can come on and tell people about Wilson Logistics, and we can talk about trucking and different stuff. So like, comment, and subscribe to all those channels, and River Rich, and, you know, Sam Avocado, Simple Plan Trucking. They're all great channels. We are out of here.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Add me as a referral.